So in yesterday's sessions, we were seeing how to handle a button. We know that this is a button. We need to click on that. Yesterday, why it didn't work is first we were on that particular web element, then we went to the parent. So that is why, see, what we have done yesterday is first we wrote the XPath of this one. Like we used this class. Okay, let me use this class. Let me write the XPath. Okay, this is the XPath. With this, we got 4 results. So that is why we navigated to its parent. So its ancestor. What is the ancestor? This is the ancestor we used. So backslash ancestor double colon div class is equal to this thing. So this is what we did. Okay. That is why it didn't work because it is selecting the div part. So in yesterday's XPath, if you see, so this was the XPath we used, right? So that is, so we were in a current thing, and from there we went to the ancestor. That is why it didn't work. So it was selecting only the parent one. It was not selecting this button. So that is why it didn't work. Now from parent, we will try to navigate to the child. Okay. So we'll try to use the CSS selector or XPath, whatever we want, because it is from parent to child. We can use this. We'll use the CSS selector. Okay, with this, it is giving one result. So from there, we need to navigate to this button. So if you want to go to the descendants in CSS selector, just give a space button. That's it. We got 2 results. First is previous and the other one is next. As the previous is disabled here, we will try to click on the next button. So in order to click that, what we need to do, we need to use the class. Control C, this is the class. Button dot. So this is the one. So now we got only one result and now it is selecting that button. So our CSS selector is fine. Okay. Let us copy this one and use this in our code. Okay. So the CSS selected the driver web element is found, previous button, and now we are trying to perform this click operation. So generally we do it like this. If you want to do it with JavaScript executor, let me remove this line and uncomment this part. Let me save this one. Now let us run this program. Observe carefully. It clicked on the next. So that is why now previous and next button both are highlighted. So previously it was like this. So this button was not there. This button was disabled. Once it clicked on this, this got enabled and it went to this page. So this is how we handle a button. This is how we handle a button. So if you want to handle an image, the same way you can do. So if you want to handle any image related tag, okay, if any tag starting with the img, if you want to handle that one, the same way you have to, so if the tag is starting with img image and if you want to handle it, so you can handle it the same way. So first locate that particular element properly and perform the click operation. So all these 3 things like link, image, and button, all these 3 things we handle it this way. First locate that particular element and perform the click operation. You can do it by using the JavaScript executor like this. If it is not, if it is overlapped by any other tag, you can use the JavaScript executor, or otherwise you can perform the normal click using the driver itself. Like this, you can perform. So this is about the link button or image. If you want for image, I think in Amazon we have one thing. Let me just try. Here itself. This is in span. This image is are in span tag. That's why we are not able to. Yeah, we got this one. So once you are in this page, you have an image here. New direct flights by Virtusa. Let me take this in. So if you want to perform the click operation on this image also, so you can do the same thing. First, locate this particular web element. So if you want to do that, you need to identify a unique thing. So let me take this class. Okay, let me copy this. Dot. So under this div tag we are. So there are a number of div tags. So we need to navigate to the image. So there also 6 results are getting displayed. Among that, we need to go with the first one. We want to go with the first one. So what I will do is I'll try to use the index. Let me see if it works. Things on its back. Won't work because it is not under the image. I think we need to use loading is equal to basic. Let me check the results. Let me see if there is any difference. I think there is the only difference in the source which we are taking. Other than that, there is no difference. So we need no other go. We need to use the source itself. So the source only we need to use. So let me copy this source. Or let me check if there is any difference in these classes. Just a minute. No, there is no change at all. Only in source only we have a change. So we need to use the source tag. So source attribute. So source is equal to this one. That's it. With this, you have only one entry. So once you found that web element, if you are able to locate that particular web element, just copy it and you can perform the click operation on that. So in the same Make My Trip website, I don't want to click on the next. No need of directly I'll find and click. So driver dot find element by dot expert no, CSS selector. So this is the CSS selector. So once it is identified, we can perform the click operation like this. Let me run this program. So it clicked on that element and this page is landed. So this is how you can handle an image. So previously it was in this page. So it clicked on this. Once you click it, so this page will be landed. Okay, the same thing is done by the automation script. So this is how you handle an image tag. You can handle this way. Okay, so this is about image, button, and link. So this is how you will handle. We'll see the next type of web element, which is checkbox or radio button. So if it is a checkbox or radio button, what is this checkbox and radio button? So first we'll discuss this radio button, as we are currently in the same page, make my trip page. So how you will handle that one is, so in this website, you have at the top, you have three options here. So if so the first flights got selected, you have three options here. You can select one way or round trip or multi-city, but only one at a time. So if one way is selected, you cannot select round trip or multi-city. If a round trip is selected, you cannot choose one way or multi-city. So among these three options, you can select only one at a time. We can select only one at a time. So this kind of feature we call it as this things we call it as radio buttons. So from radio group of set of radio buttons, if you are able to select only one, okay. So one way is a button, round trip is a button, multi-city is a button. So among these three at a time, you can select only one, one option. So here also you can see those things: regular phase, armed forces phase, student phase, senior citizen phase, doctors and nurses phase. So at a time, you can select only one. So here, if I want to select, I can select only student phase. So based on that, our prices or something will be calculated. So this we call them as radio buttons. In order to handle this, how we can handle? So first we'll observe the tags properly. Okay. Let me inspect this element. Okay. So this is the radio button here. So what is happening? Observe properly. First, they have created a UL, unordered list. In that unordered list, they have created three LI tags. If you observe properly, if you are able to see it, okay. So first is UL unordered list. Under this unordered list, they have created three list items. First list item is for one way. Second list item is for a round trip. Third list item is for multi-city trip. So we can identify these three by using the attribute called data hyphen cy. If you observe this data hyphen cy, for the first one, it is one way trip. For the second one, it is round trip. For the third one, it is multi-city trip. So using this attribute, we can differentiate these three LIs. And one more thing, if you observe carefully, the class attribute for these three list items. So only for the second list item here, it is getting as selected. For the other two, it is blank. For the other two, it is blank. So for the one which we are selecting, the value of class attribute is getting modified as selected. See, if I select multi-city now, so the class of multi-city, the class attribute of multi-city list item is now modified to selected. So based on the which one we are selecting, the class value is getting updated. The class value is getting updated. Okay, so these things we need to remember. Now, if you want to locate a particular web element, you can use this data hyphen cy. So let us use this CSS selector at the rate, sorry, CSS selector, right? So data hyphen cy is equal to, if you want multi-city, you can use that. If you want round trip, 1 minute. Okay, so if the class value is selected means then that particular radio button is selected. So that is how we can choose which one is selected. Okay. So now I want to use this data hyphen CY. By default, one way will be selected. So by default, when you open this page, one way will be selected. Now, if you want to use radio, if you want to select this round trip, what I will do, I'll copy this date value. Okay. So as of now, I am in this list item. I want to be more specific. Okay. So I want to be more specific. What I want to do, I want to go to the descendant. I want to go to the descendant. This is the span tag. Under this span tag, you have, after this span tag, you have this text round trip. This span tag is for radio button. This is the display text, right? So this span tag is for radio button and this is for display text. So I want to click on this span tag. So I want to click on this span tag. Okay, how I can do that? Just navigate to the descendant, says space span. Okay, now only one item got selected, which is this radio button. I am in the correct X bar. So for this radio button, this is the CSS selector. Now, first, before selecting or deselecting, first we need to see if this radio button is already selected or not. If it is already selected, no need to perform the click operation. If it is not selected, then only we need to perform the click operation, right? So we need to first check if that radio button is already selected or not. How we can know that if it is already selected or not? We have this property for this li tag. The class, if the class is blank, then it is not selected. If the class value is selected, then no need to perform the click operation. No need to perform the click operation, right? Got the concept? So if it is already selected, no need to perform the click. If it is not selected, then you can perform the click operation on it. So how we can verify if it is selected or not? By using the class attribute. If the class attribute value is blank, it is not selected. If the class attribute value is selected, then it is selected. So we'll go to the code and write code for this. Now let me create a new class. I'll copy till here. Okay. So as it is working without JavaScript executor, I'm not going to use JavaScript executor. So let me copy till here. Driver dot find element y dot CSS selector. This is the this is the CSS selector. Okay. So first I will copy till here only. Why? Because first we need to check if the radio button is selected or not. So I need to be in this li tag. So in this li tag only I need to stay. So once I check this class is not selected, the class value is blank, then only I can go to this span tag and perform the click operation, right? So first I will be on this li tag only. So let me copy this one. So on this li tag, I'll be. So what I have to do, I'll use a web element. What is the cell? This item is equal to this one. Let me import this thing. So once this web element is found, what we need to do, we need to get the attribute. What is the attribute that we need to get? Class. Class attribute we need to get. How can we get that? So list item dot get attribute of class. So what we have to do, it will return a string. It will return a string. So let me store this in a string. String class value is equal to this one. Okay. Once this class value is returned and stored in class value, we will check if class value is equal to dot equals in no case of this one. If it is blank, then we need to perform the click operation, right? So what I will do, we will create one more web element. For radio button is equal to driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. Here, just give a space and provide the span. That's it. Our task is done. We need to navigate to the descendant span tag. So this is the XPath for it. Now what we have to do, once if the class attribute value is blank, we need to perform the click operation on the radio button. So radio button dot click. Okay. If it is not blank, then if it is selected or something else, no need to perform the click operation. No need to perform the click operation. Only if it is blank, then only we need to perform the click operation. So let me save this one. So we are selecting the round trip radio button, run as Java application. See, round trip got selected. So once it is launched, by default, one way was selected. Once we selected the radio button round trip, one way got deselected and round trip got selected. Okay, let me rerun this because it went fast. Let me rerun this one. See, by default, one way got selected now. Once we wrote our code to select the round trip got selected and one way got deselected. So this is how we handle a radio button. First, we need to check if the radio button is already selected or not. If it is already selected, no need to perform the click operation. So we will do that one also. First, if already selected, no, right? One way will be by default selected, right? Let me take this data CY. Copy this one. One way, so we have seen that the element is not selected, so we have performed the click operation. If it is already selected, so one way is already selected. So let me modify this data -cy. One way will be already selected. So if it is already selected, we will print some message here, system.out.println. This radio button is already selected. Okay. So now let's run this program. See the output. See, this radio button is already selected. No need to perform the click operation. Okay. This is how we handle a radio button. Now we will see for checkbox, how to handle a checkbox. For that, we will choose the Amazon website. So let's go to the Amazon website. So till now we know how to write the code till here. So let me. So once we write this one here, to the left hand side here you can see checkboxes. Checkboxes means one or more items you can select. So I can select get it today and also get it by tomorrow. Here also, if you go to the brand, you can select Cadbury, Amul, Dukes, Nestle, Lotte. So multiple items you can select. So if I select Cadbury, I can do that. If I select the generic, I can do that. So at a time, multiple options I can select. Whereas radio button, at a time, you can select only one option. Whereas this checkboxes, you can select multiple options at a time. At a time, you can select multiple options. So if you want to select color mist, you can select it. So whatever you want, you can do that. So that is the flexibility of the checkbox. So now what we want to do is we want to handle this checkbox. How we can handle? First thing is locate that particular web element. So first you need to locate those web elements. If you select this one, okay, so they are under list items only. So this is the main UL tag, unordered list. In this list, you have LIs, list items. All these are the list items. So list under this list items. Okay. So these are all the list items here. All these are list items. See, this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So these are list items. Now you have to observe these tags properly. In the LIs, you have the IDs. See, the ID is containing this names, display text here. ID is containing the display text. That is one thing we need to observe. Or area hyphen label. Area hyphen label is containing the display text. The display text, whatever is the content that is displayed here, that is available in this attribute. Area hyphen label attribute contains that display text. So these two things we need to observe. So you can use either ID or area hyphen label. This attribute, these two attributes you can use. Because if you use class is same for all this, so you cannot use the class. You can use either ID or area hyphen label. We can choose area hyphen label because it contains the exact display text, right? So that you can choose. Now, if you expand this list item, you have a span tag. So this is the complete list item. You have here, you have the span tag. In this, you have a anchor tag where it has provided a link. So if you click on this, you will go to that kind of results. So that thing has been selected. So you can choose that anchor tag. You can choose that anchor tag. Let me go to that. So you can select on this, click on this anchor tag, or under this anchor tag, you have few more things. Under this anchor tag, you have one more division. So this complete section is under anchor tag. Under this anchor tag, you have one more division, which is checkbox and span. So first one is the div tag, and the second one is the display text part. This is the display text part, and this is the checkbox. So under this division, again, they have divided so into three parts. One is input type, I, and span. So how they have divided is, so first is LI. Under this LI, they have created a span tag whose class is this. Under this span tag, so this complete area, so whatever is there, this complete area will be under anchor. So wherever you click here, wherever you click from this part to this part, that particular thing will be selected. But I want to be more specific. I want to go to this, select this checkbox and click on it. So in that case, expand this anchor tag. There you have two sections. The first one is div and the second one is span. Span is for display text. Whatever the content here, it is displayed. For that one, they have used the span tag. And for the checkbox, they have used this div tag. So if you observe carefully, this is the div tag and this is the span tag. So no need of using the span tag. Just go to the div. Under this div, you have three options like input, I, and span. Input, I, and span. These are the three things. But these, if you observe carefully, these three things are pointing to the same location, almost same location. Last one you can ignore because it is not, it is pointing to the space. So first two tags, they are pointing almost to the same location if you observe carefully. Here now you will get confused which tag we need to use in order to locate that particular web element. If two tags are pointing to the same location in the web page, then you will get confused which one you need to use. So we will try with both the things. First, we will try with this input, and if it is not working, we will see, and then we will use the I tag. Hopefully, by seeing the name itself, you will think as this is input tag whose type is checkbox, this attribute should work. This attribute should work. But we will see if this works or this one will work. Okay. So first we need to locate this particular web element. So we have this option, right? Area label we have this area label thing. From there, we will try to navigate to this input tag and we will check if it is working fine or not. Okay, let's write the CSS selector. This is li. So li open bracket area hyphen label. So I want to select AML. Okay, I'll do that. AML is there, right? So this one I want to select. So area hyphen is equal to AML. Okay, from there, so here you will have only one list item. From there, you want to navigate to this descendant. From this, you want to navigate to this descendant tag. So I'll just give a space. So I will use this input tag. So here they are giving the auto suggestions. So I want to use this input tag and check if it is working fine or not. Simple. So it is displaying only one result. So if you see here XPath, if you see here which it has selected, it is the radio, it is the checkbox itself. So with this CSS selector, you can select this checkbox. So let me copy this CSS selector and try to run our code in order to handle this checkbox thing. So what we will do is we will create one more class for checkbox. Let me copy this code. This code, let me copy. Once it is done, let me copy this also because we are searching for chocolates. So what is this one is driver.find element by CSS selector with ID 2-tab search text box. So in that case, what it will do, it will find this element and it will pass this text to that. Once it is passed, so no, I don't want to use this JavaScript executor because it is working in normal way only. So what I will do, I'll use the send keys method dot send keys chocolates and then keys dot enter. This is what we want to do. So once the results are displayed, then I want to select that checkbox. So driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. CSS selector, let me copy it from. This is the CSS selector. Then I want to perform the click operation. Okay. So let me save this one and run this program. It has thrown some error. It could be of two reasons. First one is it may not find that brand, locate that particular element. See if under brand Amul is there. No, Amul is not there. Vega, Sellers, Mars. So the Amul is not there. So that is why it might have thrown the error. See, no such element found exception. No, that element is not found. So what we will do, we'll try to locate this linked. This text we will use instead of AML, we will use this one. So I will replace this AML with this thing, this content. Now let me quit this one and run it again. It went fast. So driver went fast, but the browser is slow. So let me close this one. Let me rerun this again. If you observe carefully, as of now, lint is not selected. If you observe this one. So now we got an exception here. It is not able to find. Let me use the same thing. Let me copy this CSS selector and try to find it here. Go to inspect. Lint is there, right? Okay, let me check this one. So this is the lint. Why? Area hyphen label. I used the correct one. LABL. Okay, let me check only this one. Yeah, this there. From there, I want to navigate to input tag. So this is selected. This is working fine. Why it is not getting clicked? The same thing is there. This CSS selector is working fine. I think driver is going faster, but browser is slow. There is some issue. So that is, this time let us see. Before loading this page itself, it has thrown that exception. So what we will do is, we'll wait for some time. So we'll ask the driver to wait for 5 seconds. The red dot sleep of 5 seconds. We'll ask the driver to wait. Okay, let me import this thread dot sleep. Okay, let me save this one. Go solve this. Run this program. Now we got the exception which we are looking for. So WebDriver exception element in. So if you see the error message here, element input name type is equal to checkbox is not clickable at this point because another element I tag class equal to a fun icon. So this tag obscures it. So that means, so as we already discussed, this if two web elements are pointing to the same location in the web page, so this input tag and I tag both are pointing to the same location. So we first need to check which is the element that we need to perform the click operation. So first we tried with input. If we are trying with input, it is throwing an error saying that this tag is not clickable at this point. So you cannot perform the click operation on this particular tag. So what is the next option? We have to use this I tag. So we will use this I tag and try to perform the click operation. So instead of this input, I'll just use I tag to perform the click operation. Okay. So now let me run this program and see. Run as Java application. So it clicked on lint. So if you see carefully, it clicked on lint. Lint got selected. Lint got selected. Right? So this is how you handle a radio checkbox. So before performing this thing, what you have to do is, you have to first check if the checkbox is already selected or not. That thing we need to do, right? So directly we cannot perform the click, because if it is already selected, again, if I'm doing the click operation here, it will get deselected. So it will get deselected. So first thing what we need to do is, we need to first check if this particular web element, if this particular checkbox is already selected or not. For that, we have to observe the tags carefully. We need to get one thing. So what we need to observe here is, If it is getting selected, what are the changes that are happening in these tags that we need to observe. Okay, so let's see this color mist thing. So which is already selected. So from here we are coming. So this is the span tag, this is anchor tag. In this div, class is equal to a hyphen checkbox, a hyphen checkbox hyphen fancy, and float left. So this is one. This is the thing that we are getting for the one which is selected. Now we will see for the one which is not selected, are there any differences between these two? I don't think there are any differences. Let me observe carefully. See, so you are getting one parameter called checked, checked for this already selected one. For the not selected one, so for the one which is not selected, you don't have this attribute. You don't have this attribute. If you observe these two input tags properly, this tag and this tag. So for the one which is already selected, you have this attribute checked. For the one which is not selected, you don't have that attribute, right? So if I'm selecting for SFU e-com, so let me select this one and observe the tags now. Okay, so for SFU e-com, now we have selected. So if you go to the input tag here, now this also got this attribute checked. So for the one which is selected, you will have this attribute checked. For the one which is not selected, you will not have this attribute. So that is the difference you can get. So what you have to do is, as of now, we are currently in this I tag. As of now, we are currently in this I tag. We need to go to this previous tag and check if this checked attribute is present or not. For this input tag, we need to check if this checked attribute is available or not. If it is available, that means it is already selected. If it is not available, then we can go and perform the click operation. We can go and perform the click operation. Or else there are some methods in Selenium has provided. What are those methods is? So let me store this web element in a particular web element search, not this one. So let it be this. I want for a checkbox only. So for checkbox, I'll write it. I'll store in a particular web element checkbox is equal to this one. Now what I will do, first I need to check if this particular web element is selected, if this checkbox is selected or not. What I have to do, first I am present at current, I am in I tag. So I need to go to the, or else I can create one more web element here. Space checkbox selected is equal to driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. You can use the same thing just by replacing with input. Okay. Let me remove this too. Okay, the same thing. So this is one web element. So in this web element, if driver dot get attribute, sorry, not driver. So checkbox selected dot get attribute of checked. So if it is all, if this is present, if checked attribute is present, then no need to perform the click operation. Okay. So if it is not present, insert not equal to null check. So if it is not null, then you can perform the click operation. If it is null, that means this attribute is not available, then you can perform the click operation. Right? Okay. So this is one way you can do. This is one way by checking the attribute values and something you can do this. But Selenium jar has also some default methods which can do this thing. So what you can do is if checkbox dot is selected, you have this option. If it is already selected, okay, if it is already selected, then no need to perform the click operation, right? So I'll insert a negation here. That means if it is not selected, then what I will do, checkbox dot click. Else system dot out dot println. The checkbox is already selected. So you can use this method as well. If this is not working for some or other reason, then you can go and find some differences in the tags, attributes, and then you can do the check like this. So either of the way will work. Either this one or this one you can use. But in some cases, if due to some HTML tags issue, if it is not working, if the first way, this is the first way, with is selected method, you can check. If this is not working, then you can find some differences when it is selected and not selected. And based on that, accordingly, you can write your code. It is up to you how you want to write your code. So first we can check with this one. If it is working fine, then better we go with this way. If it is not working, then we can check with the attribute values. If once we select and once it is deselected, how the attribute values are changing. Based on that, we can write our logic to check if it is selected or not. Okay, we'll try with this one. Tell him. Element not interactable could not be scrolled into view. So let me maximize the window. So what this issue is, this particular web element which we are trying to find is not in the view. So we need to perform either scroll operation. So on web page, we can perform the scroll. This scroll we can do so that that element can be in the view. In this view, it can be. I think that lint is also not available in the brand as of now. So let's use Mars. In C mode, you have lint. So in C mode, you have this lint. That is why it is showing that error. It is not in the current view to click. It is not in the current view. So in this display things, it is not there to click, perform the click operation. So that is why what we have to do. First click on this C mode and then you can select the thing what you want. But no need, we'll use this Mars which is displayed. I'll use this Mars instead of this lint. I'll use Mars. Okay, now we will see. First, we'll maximize the window. Driver dot window. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Just save this one and let me run this program. Oh, now lint is displayed, Mars is hidden. I don't think if it would have worked because Mars is not there here. Lint is there. So let me rerun for one more time and check. So that is why you are getting this error, element not interactable exception. That means that element is present in the web page, but currently you cannot perform the click operation on that because it is hidden. Once you click on the C mode, then that element is visible. So if you click on this see more, the element will be visible. As of now, it is not visible. That means the web element which you are trying to find is not interactable as of now. Okay, so that is the difference. So that is the issue. So what you have to do is, in that case, is first click on this see more. If you see this link, first you click on it, then you can perform the click operation. Then you can find that particular web element and perform the click. Okay, see more you have to click, then it will be visible. And in that case, you can perform the click operation on that. Okay, so that is how you can handle. As of now, let me rerun the program once and check if it is working fine or not. Mars is there, so it will be clicked. So Mars it has selected. So if you go down, Mars is selected. Mars got selected. So if it is already selected, then it will print this message. The checkbox is already selected. It will print that message. Okay. This is how we handle a checkbox. First, we need to check if it is already selected or not. If it is already selected, no need to click, because already selected one, if you are clicking on it, then it will get deselected. It will get deselected. So that is why before performing the click operation, you need to check if that particular web element is already selected or not, if that checkbox is already selected or not. Okay, that is how you handle a radio button and a checkbox. So first, what you have to do, find that element using locators and verify if it is already selected or not. If not selected, then you can perform this click operation. Okay, that is about the checkbox and radio button. Now we will see drop down. Okay, so drop down also we can have here. Here you have. Okay, let me go to the home page. In this Amazon, you can see this before search option. Before performing the search, you have a drop down. Like it is showing the categories from where and all you need to search. As of now, all is selected. So from everywhere, it will try to perform the search. But if I want to select any category, so you can just click on it. It will show you list of elements from where it has to be searched. So it will show you list of categories from where you can search. So if I want to search in books in this category, then I can select this books. Okay, so this we call it as a drop down, where it is giving multiple options. From there, you can select only one at a time. Only one at a time. There are a few web elements where you can select multiple elements from the drop down also, but in rare cases you can find it. I did not find to automate that thing. So if you come across such kind of thing, you can tell me, we can discuss it. But as of now, this drop down, it will allow you to select only one at a time. So I want to select this books. So how we can handle this one? Okay, so here if you see, you have a select ID here, and under this is a tag. Select tag is for drop downs. Select tag will be used for drop downs. So under this, you have lot of options to select. Okay, so these are options: Alexa skills, Amazon devices, Amazon fashion, Amazon fresh, Amazon baby, Amazon beauty, Amazon books. So now I want to select this books. So if it is already selected, you will have this option. You will have this attribute selected is equal to selected, and value is this thing, and display text is all categories. So now if I want to select books, how you can select and how you can handle this type of tag, like select a tag, how you can handle. Okay, so now that we will see. First thing is, there are three ways to select. The first one is select by visible text, whatever the text that is displayed here. So whatever the text that is displayed here, based on the display text, you can select. The second way is select by index. Index means whatever is the index. This is the index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, index 6. Like this, based on the indexes, you can select. The third one is based on the value attribute. So value attribute, whatever you have here. For value, whatever is the text displayed, whatever is the value here, based on that, you can select. So 3 ways you can use to select it. You can select a value from the drop down. First one is by the display text. Second one is by the index. Third one is by the value attribute. So 3 ways you can select. So first is select by visible text. Second one is select by index. Third one is select by value. If you want to deselect also, you can have 3 methods. Deselect by visible text, deselect by index, and deselect by value. These are the 3 different methods you can use to select a particular option from a drop down. From a drop down, you can use this. So first, what we have to do, first we need to locate this drop down. You have a wonderful ID here. So use this ID. I'll use this ID. Okay. Now this particular drop down is located using this. Once we locate this particular drop down, then we are ready to go and handle this drop down. So let me write the code for this. Yes. Drop down. The same Amazon thing we'll be using. So driver maximize. Okay, till here we will see. We don't need the other things. Okay. From here, first I need to find the locators. Web element drop down is equal to driver dot find element y.css selector. This is the CSS selector. Let me copy this one. Okay. So we found this web element. Once the web element is found, then what we have to do. So here we have given the clearly. So use the select class object to perform these things. So first we need to locate that particular element and pass it as an argument to the select class constructor. So select is a class we have. Okay, select is a class we have. First we will create an object to this class. So select yes is equal to new select. If we are doing this, this is a default constructor. We need to pass it to a 1 minute. Let me import this one from OpenQA Selenium. So from Selenium, let me import this one. So now, so there is no default constructor. We need to pass a parameter to this. So I'll pass this web element to this constructor. Whatever web element you located, that web element we need to pass to this constructor. So I'll pass to this one. Okay. So with this, our task is done. Now you can use these 3 methods like select by display text or select by index or select by value. So S dot, you have an option. So you have these 3 methods: select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. Okay. So if I want to go by index, let me select this one and give the index like for books. Let me check the index. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is the index for books. So let me give the index as 11. Okay. Our task is done. Let me run this program. I think the timeout issue, enemy not interactable. Timeout issue. Let me wait for some time. Once the page is loaded, let me give thread.sleep for 5 milliseconds, for 5 seconds. And now save this one. Import it. Let's save this one and rerun this program again. Element not interactable. Option could not be scrolled into the view. First, we need to perform the click, right? Sorry for that. This is the drop down. First, we need to perform the click on it, right? Then only you will be able to see the display text. So you located this element. With this, you cannot search. First, you need to click on this. Then only it will give the options, right? So we didn't perform the click operation. That is why it is throwing error. So first, we need to perform the click on this web element. Okay. Now let us run this program. Why this could not be scrolled into the view? We are performing the click as well. CSS selector. It didn't perform this click at least. Yes, it has performed the click. Let me save it. 1 minute. Let me check why it is not working. It's not coming. This is on website. This has already saved. This is why it is not working. Check. Okay. We are doing the correct thing on this. One last time, let me rerun this. Mhm. Okay, let's continue this one in the next session. Why it is not working, but ideally it should work. We'll see in the next session what is the issue. So till now, if you have any doubts, like in selecting a radio button or a checkbox, So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.